Well, the 49ers, they recently rehired Robert Saleh to return to the 49ers as their new defensive coordinator. But will this help the 49ers get closer to the championship?
Let's talk football.
All right, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the All Round Sports Podcast, where sports are everything on this channel. I'm your host, Antonio. Today, we are going over the 49ers. After recently rehiring Robert Saleh as their new defensive coordinator after he got let go by the New York Jets as their head coach, Robert Saleh reunites with the 49ers to help try to rejuvenate that defense. Now, of course, the defense this year was not very good this year, but I have a personal perspective that I'll talk about later. But the question is, will this help the 49ers get closer to their sixth Super Bowl ring? So I'm going to talk about that here in just a second. But before we get started, I want to mention two things. First, as you can clearly see, I'm a Seahawks fan. So I talk about the 49ers whenever I can because, number one, they're a division rival. And number two, it's because of Dan Orlovsky talking about this team, which is why I continuously talk about this team. So that's number one. But number two, if you guys do enjoy this video, please be sure to do me a favor and smash that like button down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. But for now, let's get this video started. Robert Saleh. I do believe he will help the defense, but it's not going to help him get closer to a Super Bowl. We all know this. If the 49ers are to make it back to the Super Bowl, they need to perform on their offensive side. Now, the defense a year ago was one of the best in the league under Steve Wilkes. I personally believe you should have kept him. Because let me go over some stats from last year and then the year afterwards. The year before, they ranked number 8 in total defense, which was one of the eighth best defenses in the league. And then passing defense, they ranked 14th in the league in that year. And then rushing defense, they were the third best team in the league, right behind the Chicago Bears and the Detroit Lions. Scoring defense, they ranked third in the league, right behind the Ravens and the team that beat them in the Super Bowl, the Kansas City Chiefs. And then also red zone defense. The 49ers struggled in that category as they ranked 16th in that category. Third down defense, they rank 23rd in the league in that category. Fast forwarding to 2024, their total defensive rank was still the same, number 8 in the country. Their passing defense was number 5 in the country, which is an improvement that mainly helped in the last stretch. But the run defense was what was killing them. They ranked 18th in rushing defense last year, which they ranked third the year prior. Scoring defense, they ranked, I'm trying to find it here, 27th in the league, in the 29th category, which is the fourth worst in the NFL. And then the red zone defense, they ranked total 31st in the league in red zone defense. And then as far as third down defense goes, they ranked 24th in the league in that category. Why I think the 49ers should have kept Steve Wilkes, he was only in year one, and he led almost every defensive category when he was there. And then the year after, you fire him. Why would you fire him? Now, I get that it was because part of it was because of the Super Bowl play on the fourth down that you could have won the game. I understand that. But you still should have given him another shot. You don't let a great defensive coordinator like Steve Wilkes out the door year one. But under Robert Saleh, I do believe that defense will get better, but it won't lead him to a championship. Because we all know this. The main reason why the 49ers will never win a championship is because of Kyle Shanahan. He is arguably one of the greatest coaches that has yet to get it done. He's been, and I mentioned this, 49er fans have been talking to me saying that the 49ers do have $60 million in cap space. That is true. But Kyle Shanahan has to ultimately get the job done. Because if he doesn't, and he retires or moves to another team. He will be remembered as one of the greatest head coaches that could never get it done. We already look at some other guys that were in this position. We look at Nick Sirianni. He's led 3 winning seasons in Philly. He's been criticized mostly because he couldn't get it done. And then also along with Andy Reid before he won the championship in San Francisco in Kansas City. What were people saying about him after he left Philadelphia? That he needs to get the job done in Kansas City. And he did that 3 times. But the main reason I constantly talk about Kyle Shanahan, I mentioned this a few times. If you want to go check out that previous video, I'll have that link in the description. I talked about Dan Orlovsky and why he was constantly protecting Brock Purdy, which I understand. The 49ers were dealing with injuries. I understand that. But what is the main thing that we want to see from a quarterback in the NFL? Perform when your weapons are hurt. You're not always going to have Jawan Jennings, George Kittle, Brandon Ayuk, Christian McCaffrey, or Jawan Jennings to always be there to back you up. Sooner or later, they're going to enter into free agency, and there's nothing you can do to re sign them. You have $60 million in cap space right now. Now, I do believe the 49ers are going to look at offensive line because Trent Williams, he's still one of their best O linemen, but they need another additional guy to pair up with him. But other than that, I just think that the 49ers, they are a good team. They are arguably one of the most talented rosters in the entire NFC. But they're never going to get it done because they can't get past Kansas City. The main reason that I say the 49ers are never going to win a championship is because of a few reasons. One, they can't beat Kansas City. Whenever they meet up with the Chiefs, they appear to lay an egg every time they face against them. And when you're going to go into this season with the Chiefs likely being a three-peat champion, you need to show up against the Chiefs. That's number one. Number two, you need to be able to stop the run and establish the run. They were terrible at the run defense last year, which was the main reason I pointed to Steve Wilks still should have been in there because the run defense ranked third in the league prior. They ranked like 18th in that category last year, which, yep, they ranked 18th in that category last year. They ranked third in the league the year prior, and now they dropped 15 spots because they let go of one of their best defensive coordinators they ever had. Now, of course, the injury it's been riddled due to injuries. But if we look at the NFC, there's teams rising up left and right that could possibly threaten the 49ers. You got maybe the Rams to deal with the young defense that they have. You got maybe the Seahawks if they can get an offensive line, kind of similar issue to the 49ers. Then you also got the Commanders that look at Jane Daniels right now. He's been looking like a stud. Then you also got the Philadelphia Eagles that have Saquon Barkley. And those two teams are fighting for a chance to go to the Super Bowl. And then you look around at the rest of the NFC, the Lions are going to still be there. The Packers are going to still be there. The Vikings are going to still be there. And the Buccaneers are not going to go anywhere. Maybe the Falcons if Michael Penix does show something. I'm not entirely certain on that. But, and then last but not least, number 3, the third and most important reason that this team needs to win, that they need to do to win a championship, is shine in the biggest games. The 49ers are accustomed to choking 10-point leads. This is who the 49ers are under Kyle Shanahan. They constantly choke away 10-point leads. And if they do this, they're never going to win a championship. Kyle Shanahan has to get over that hump of choking in the playoffs and ultimately choking in the Super Bowl. He's only one of 3 head coaches to go 0-3 against a team. And of course, if the 49ers do go against the Chiefs in the playoffs again, which would of course be in the Super Bowl, then Kyle Shanahan would be the one of 4 head coaches to go 0-4 in the Super Bowl. And you do not want to be in some of those names. You got like Bud Grant. You got Marv Levy and a few other names that I cannot mention at the moment. That's a name of a list of coaches that you do not want to be in. That's a very big list that you do not want to be in. Trust me. And I'm backing up the 49ers here because they this team has shown potential of winning a Super Bowl. But the main thing I look at this team is go out there and prove it. And I'm not putting them in the Super Bowl conversation anytime soon until they beat Kansas City, show up on defense, and shine in the brightest of lights and win a championship. That's the main reason why. Because there's been a saying I've said about the 49ers, and I'm going to say it now. No matter how good the 49ers look, no matter how stacked a roster they have, don't lose your mind. No matter how hard it might get, and no matter how good they might seem to look, no matter what teams they beat, if it's not Kansas City, whenever the expectations are at the highest peak, the 49ers will always find a way to come crashing down to earth. And what's happened for the last 5 years? Exactly that. It's a reason I've stood by for years, and I'll continue to stand by it until the 49ers actually get the job done. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. What are your thoughts on the Robert Saleh hire? Do you think the Robert Saleh hire was the right choice for this team? Let me know in the comments what you think. Anyways, hope y'all enjoyed. If you did, please make sure to do me a favor and smash that like button down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. Well, until next time, I'll see you all in the next one. Ciao for now.